Third place game on deck here at the FIBA AmeriCup 2022. Canada taking on Brazil. Canada taking on the United States here in the bronze medal game. We are in Brazil. A ton of Brazilian flags through the crowd. They are here to see the first of two medal games. A little later on, we will see Brazil in action taking on Argentina. Here is the road to the finals. Canada got past Mexico but failed to get past Brazil in the semifinals in an emotional game just last night. They'll have to get back up here for the third place game against their rivals, Team USA. On the other side, the US got past Puerto Rico on a game-winning basket by Norris Cole, but failed to get past Argentina and their offensive juggernaut. And now hoping to leave Brazil with a medal around their neck. Well, fans about to be introduced to both these teams that have had very different paths to this game. In Canada's first game, they lost to Brazil. This place was rocking. Canada played them well up until the middle of the fourth quarter, but just couldn't hit a shot. And had a chance for redemption again against Brazil in the semifinals, and it felt like they were right there, but again, couldn't get over the hump. A Canadian team that was much maligned coming into this tournament, but I think they proved a lot of doubters wrong and have a chance to go home with some hard work.
And yeah, the first thing that sticks out to me is when you watch this team play is resilient, right, and fight. And you talk about, you know, how people didn't have many expectations for this group here, and they, you know, quote unquote, should have came out here and went 0-3 based on roster, but they've come out here and they fight. More importantly, they gave the host country, you know, a test in game one. They gave the host country a test last night, you know, that semifinal match. So it speaks volumes to this group here. And then you watch Coach Nathaniel Mitchell's press conference yesterday and the emotion that was, you know, he expressed, and you can just see how invested this group is. So, you know, I'm extremely proud to see how they perform.
On the other side, Team USA started this tournament in neutral. They lost to Mexico, first time ever losing to Mexico in an AmeriCup. Bounced back through the rest of the group stage, winning huge against Panama and Venezuela, and then sneaking past Puerto Rico, but could not get past Argentina. We'll talk a little bit more about both these teams, but first, we'll pause for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, remain standing for the national anthem of Canada. welcome chairs, exchange gifts. Cumprimento dos atletas, aquela última troca de carinho antes do jogo. Som na caixa, DJ Doido.
There's the aforementioned Nathaniel Mitchell. I'll talk more about him throughout this game and the job he's done with the youngest squad at the AmeriCup. But first, introduce you to the officials. Locatelli, Garcia, and Paez from Brazil, Venezuela, and Ecuador. So Team Canada losing to the host nation in the opening game. They bounced back, coming back from behind to defeat Uruguay in that one in their second game of the round robin. Then they beat Colombia by 1. Sound win against Mexico, and had Brazil on the ropes in the middle of the fourth quarter, even taking the lead after being down big. And as you said, all heart for the team in red and white.
Well, I think there's heart, and there's this key word there, consistency, right? A consistency piece, which is something that has been missing with Canada over time, over the last couple of years, and now they have that, right? Nathaniel Mitchell, part of the Windows coaching staff, and you know, this group here training with the NBA guys during the Olympic qualifiers, the World qualifiers, excuse me. So there's a lot of chemistry, there's a lot of cohesiveness that's building it, and you talk about systems as well.
Alex Jensen has led the way for Team USA, who started off this tournament with a loss to Mexico. Bounced back against Panama, Venezuela, sneaking past Puerto Rico in the quarterfinals, and then losing to Argentina. Their starting lineup is going to be Frank Mason, Norris Cole, Greg Sword, Gary Clark, and Steve Zimmerman. For the Canadians, Javon Henry Blair, who came alive in the semifinals to really lead Canada to an attempt at overcoming the home squad. We see Lloyd Pandy remains in the starting lineup for Coach Nathaniel Mitchell. And what a tournament so far for the very young Delano Banton, 22 years of age. A lot of pressure on his shoulders to come here and be the guy. And after his game yesterday, slides down to the third leading scorer in the tournament at 17.2 points per game. But he has delivered in key moments for Canada when they needed him.
I think it's been a great experience for him, right? Because you think about the fact that he has the ball in his hands. He has to make the decisions, lead this team. And that's been the most impressive part to me, is just seeing him communicate with his guys, rally them together on free throws, you know, bring guys and say, look, this is what we're going to run. This is what we need right now. And that experience is invaluable, because you're right. He's not going to get those minutes. You know, he didn't get those minutes this past season with the Raptors, where, you know, he's going to be that feature guy, the primary guy. You get that here, and you're heading into training camp, NBA training camp in a couple of weeks. You know, you feel a bit better about yourself. There's a bit more confidence and a bit more swagger, right? So I think that was important for him, and just him being a part of this next generation Canadian squad, and the guys, one of the guys that's next up and gonna push some of those other NBA veterans for minutes is gonna be so important, right? So, and he's showcasing that on this level. And this is tough, right? This is not an NBA game. This is, you know, completely different style. The paint's congested, and just being able to make plays, score the ball, and make your teammates better is the most important part.
One of the key traits I've seen from Banton so far in this tournament is he's gotten a lot of contact on drives and just handling the rock, and hasn't really looked back at the officials and begged for the whistle to blow in his favor. Should benefit him, because a lot of the contact he's taking at this level would be a foul at the NBA level. We're off and ready to go. Third place game here at the AmeriCup. Team USA controls the tip. Canada wearing the red and white jerseys. They'll be on defense first. Carlin Gay alongside Javon Shepard. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. It'll be Craig Sword. Good hands there by the aforementioned Delano Banton.
Just long arms there, right? When you look at him, you just see him just doesn't even have to exert any energy or effort, and that's just God-given ability and the length. When you talk about guys and, you know, the importance of length and adding to their skill set.
Mason with the layup inside for the first bucket of the game for Team USA. Let's talk keys to the game quickly here, Javon. Start with the Canadians.
Keys to the game, you know, and I think it's going to be one key for both teams. It's the truth is everybody's a little deflated after their loss yesterday because you're playing for a potential gold medal, and you go into this game, it's got to be the first team to find that energy and shift that narrative, shift the mindset, and come out and compete. Because the reality is, a medal is forever, right? You got to wash that slate clean from yesterday.
You heard Coach Nathaniel Mitchell as Zimmerman lays it in, talking about that in the post-game press conference, forgetting about the loss yesterday, which is tough to do. It was an emotional defeat. They had opportunities, and they came here expecting a lot for themselves, as Henry Blair is going to get called for the travel there, but they can still leave here with forever, and that is a medal.
That's one of those things that lasts forever. I remember winning a medal at the World University Games, a bronze medal, and that is still mentioned today. And for me, I see the impact it can have for these guys, and sometimes it's bigger than basketball, right? That sticks to your resume, and that's something that you can speak on and just proves, you know, you can produce in a team environment and adverse environment and adjust, right? Like, it's sometimes we look at this game as the right now, but there's a long-term picture, there's a long-term play.
Shot goes awry there. You take a look at Coach Jensen, who has himself done a great job with this U.S. squad, a squad that, on the other end, many felt like maybe they should bring more talent to an AmeriCup. These players are pros themselves, and they've played at the highest of levels, and they would be disappointed without leaving here with the medals. Henry Blair, bucket and the foul. But Coach Jensen has done a good job of keeping them together and keeping them focused on the goal and task at hand.
He does. Like, he definitely does. And you think about, here you see Javon Blair again in that ball screen action, doing a good job with Norris Cole, keeping on his hip. And we mentioned Javon Blair, he sometimes he looks a bit unorthodox, looks a bit tough. His shots look a bit tough, but he just finds a way to score the ball. And, you know, back to your point against USA, yeah, it's not the dream team. It's not, you know, LeBron and Kevin Durant aren't out there. But there's still a challenge if you're coaching this group, right? They haven't been together, and each of these guys are probably the feature guys on their respective professional clubs. Now you put this team together, short training camp, and have to find chemistry and cohesiveness. It's not an easy job for a coach.
Mason is going to have to put it up. Does as the shot clock expires, follows his own miss. It's tapped out. Sword for three, in and out. And Khalif Young with the rebound. There's Banton. Henry Blair using the up fake. Banton with space now, waiting for the Young screen, attacking the rim. Delano Banton can't get it to go as Clark rebounds. 4-3 early on, Team USA in front. It'll be Zimmerman, the floater inside, can't get that to fall. Tried to keep it alive, but finds Henry Blair, and he'll push the other way. Lloyd Pandy fending off Mason. And we've seen parts of Lloyd Pandy's game really evolve here over the last week and a half.
Yeah, you know what it is, too? He doesn't shy away from contact. He's aggressive. He's locked in defensively, can guard a number of positions. And that's where he starts his game from, on the defensive side. You don't have to. He's not one of those guys that need to see one or two buckets go in to have an impact on the game or feel involved in the game. And that's the beauty of his style of play, because he can do that at any level, right? And you have guys like that, they're always going to be invaluable for your team, for any team for that matter, because they're going to go out there and give you 98%, 100% of the time.
Pargo, Cheatham check into the game. That brings Thomas Kennedy off the bench. When you look at the stat line that Thomas Kennedy had in the semifinals against Brazil, it's not going to jump off the page, but he had moments, big-time moments in that one. His bucket gave Canada the lead in the middle of the fourth. There he is, first touch on the rock. That was almost the same spot where he gave Canada the lead and missed that shot.
And he, unlike most of these guys, he's going to leave here and go back to a university team, his university team, University of Windsor. He's not going to a professional club. He's not looking for a deal right now. Here's he Sword attacking Banton and just drawing the foul there using his athleticism. And that's impressive to me. And you talk about the experience that he's getting and how he's going to go back and dominate the university level. But there's a heck of a ceiling there, right? And if you're, GMs or, professional clubs, you're keeping tabs on this kid, right? Because he's playing at this level and having an impact on the game, influencing the game. And he's, in theory, not even a pro yet. He's not there yet.
Sword goes 2-2 from the line. U.S. regained the lead 6-5. It's Banton working on Cheatham. Banton over Cheatham. Can't get it to go. Ball ricochets into the hands of Clark. Sword thought about it. Good transition D that time from Canada getting back. Gonna be Norris Cole. Cheatham puts it on the deck. He was hammered as he goes to the rack. He'll earn a trip to the line now.
And Cheatham, we've seen here, I think I've been impressed with how he's developed over the course of this tournament, rather, right? Catching the ball in that short roll, and you can see him there catching on two in control and then making a move at the basket. Early on in the tournament, you could just see him catching and not really knowing, how to make a decision or getting his footwork right. And with his athleticism, that's so dangerous, right? If he's able to catch it and get on two and collect himself, because he can play above the rim, but at the same time, he's long and strong enough to finish finesse as well.
He missed the first free throw, shooting 67% from the foul line here at the tournament, and splits the pair. Traybell Haynes on the rock now for Canada. Cadre Gray uses the Kennedy screen now, looking for help, finds Kennedy. That's a good pass by Gray, a tough angle there. Kennedy with the seal.
That's a great pass, and again, Kennedy just sealing the defense on the high side and giving a hand for the passing lane.
Then he gets up with the block right there on the driving McCaw. Banton. He's gonna get called for the charge. I mean, you saw that developing pretty much at half court.
And for him, you can see here, kick, extra pass, and the block, which starts that transition there. For him, for Banton, that's an adjustment to the FIBA game, right? At the NBA level, that defense isn't there planted in the key, right? He has a time and space to get downhill and get to the rack. Just a bit more crowded in the paint there.
Second turnover for Canada. Score tied at 7. Pargo into the game now for the U.S. Uses the Cheatham screen. Cheatham puts it on the deck, knifing his way to the hole. That's a wild shot, and Kigab pulls down the board. Kigab skipping his way into the front court. Gonna be great. Thomas Kennedy playing with so much confidence. That's a good pass inside to Kigab, who used the up fake. Can't finish, he's gonna get another chance here. Puts it on the ground, 2 jerseys around. Kigab can't get it to go. And Lamb up to Jody Meeks. Meeks attacking the floater, overshoots it. And Kigab still looking to attack on the other end. Abu Kigab, tough finish. He heard his guard, Traybell Haynes, asking for the rock, and he said, no, I'm going in.
Listen, he missed the first one. He said, look, I'm going to call my own number on this play here, and I'm going to make sure I get it.
Cheatham inside. Good ball movement. Lamb steps in. It's Meeks from his office. In and out. And Gray in the open floor. It's a good job. He'll peel off. Kennedy. Thomas Kennedy has really found some confidence here in Brazil.
He's so solid, man. Again, pitting the defense behind him, catching and then just extending away. And that's something where, you speak to his university level. He's used to being the bigger, more stronger player, most strongest player on the court. You can just see him here, catches that ball and extends away from the defense. And that's something he wouldn't have done, 8 days ago, before coming here and getting into this. So that that learning curve for him is impressive as well. The IQ, the adjustments.
There's a comfort level that he's playing with. You as a young guy, when you were playing in a tournament like this, how long did it take you to adapt to the physicality, the pace, the speed, and then just finding yourself within the team?
It took me a little longer, right? Because I didn't have the access and the resources like these players have. And I mentioned before, you know, for the Canadian team, which I'm a bit more familiar with, they're playing like with the NBA guys. There's a training facility where these guys all train together and build together, right? Whereas myself, we didn't have that luxury, right? So when you were thrown out here, you're just thrown into the fire to figure it out. The game was stronger, the game was faster, and there was a period of, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, or even years at some point for some people that it took to adjust. These guys jump right in now, and there's already this familiarity with the game, with the style of play, with the level of players, because it's far more of a connection than there was when I was playing.
Bell Haynes lost control, but it ricochets off of Pargo, so we'll stay Canadian basketball with 21 on the shot clock. You see Pargo exiting the game. Fresh faces all around. See Chad Posthumus into the game, number 22 in red. He's played sparingly in this tournament, but when he's gotten on the floor, he's made his presence felt physically. Here he is setting the screen on Lamb. Gray floats it in the lane. Mason back on the floor with Zimmerman. He worked the two-man game. McCaw, Lamb, and Meeks round up the 5 for Team USA. Canada in the zone. Meeks attacks. Zimmerman hammers it home.
That's just a great attack, right? Great attack, great find. Zimmerman cutting down the key there and just making himself available. Javon Blair's got to do a better job on that backside. You see that cutter coming, crack back.
Gray looking to dance. Uses a series of moves and lays it up. Banton saying that's nice.
That's cute footwork, real cute.
Good job there by Posthumus, showing Mason some size. Canada looking to run. Juggy Blair wanted to take an open 3. It's Kigab. Puts his head down, floats in the lane. Can't get it to go. Well, they'll count it. And Zimmerman took it off the rim.
Kigab's one of those players where, you know, there's times where you're going to tell him, see the finish here, there's times you're going to tell him, no, too much, too fast, too early. But you always got to give him credit for his fight and his effort.
My mistake on the play. They're actually going to call a foul. Pushing it back on Chad Posthumus, so no bucket. And that foul will lead to 2 free throws for Zimmerman on the other end. Referees are discussing right now. They're going to review it. We'll be able to listen in on the conversation as they walk over to the scores table.
You're pushing over back and dive. Yeah, before you raise your hand.
Zimmerman at the line for 2 free throws. First one off the mark. Zimmerman averaging 6 points and 8 rebounds in just under 15 minutes of play for Team USA. He's only shot 55% from the foul line. You see him miss both there. Pemberton goes skying for the rebound. Now on the deck. Jump ball. It's going to be Canada possession. Steve Zimmerman came into this tournament with a lot of weight on his shoulders, being the true only big man that Team USA decided to bring here. And boy, I tell you, you go down the list of teams here, you can find yourself a big.
You can find one or two of them. And it's funny because Zimmerman's skill set's a little different, right? He's a guy that's going to play in the blocks, a little bit more lumbering. Whereas you can see, especially from the four teams that are left, more skill, more, you know, touch. You can see here Pandy again attacking the basket. And Pandy's another one that's a prime example, right? He stepped out and played some 4 and played some 5 at times as well, right? So you think about the skill sets, the size, the ability of a number of these guys, and there's a contrast all across the board. So Zimmerman, you know, being one of the more conventional or traditional bigs that you're going to see in basketball today, not just in this tournament, more so in, you know, post-up guy. You know, he had a heavy load on his shoulders, right? And I thought he came out and he responded to it.
Pandy goes 1 and 2 from the line. 16-11, Canada in front. Now they sit to zone. Here's Zimmerman, looking for a cutter. Will hand to Pemberton. Pemberton, the floater, is there. Chance to look at Bandu here on the rock. One of the shooters for Canada hasn't been able to really find the touch from deep. We'll get an opportunity here from 3. Used the jab fake and then lost it, and close to an intentional foul there by Bandu as Norris Cole ripped him.
Tough, right? You talk about him not being able to get his rhythm going. I know he was a little ill for first couple of days, and then just being thrown back into the mix of things with guys on the other end. Like you see Norris Cole just picking his pocket there. These guys are hungry dogs, right? And that makes it tough. You got to be extremely tough mentally when you get thrown back out there to just go get it, right? No thinking. It's not a game of, you know, the wheels turning and thinking. You got to be able to get out and
Open
have
angle,
an
no
impact
speed.
right away.
They're checking the unsportsmanlike foul potentially here on Bandu. So the officials getting a little bit more face time here in the first quarter.
Have any other angle?
Letter of the law, this
Okay,
looks
this
to
angle.
me like an intentional
Any other one?
or unsportsmanlike.
Okay,
Not,
wait,
not really a
wait.
play on the ball. If we were refs, but we're
Stop
over
the point
here
of the
with the
contact.
mic.
Yeah, this angle. No,
You want to
stop
be
the
a
point
ref
of the
so
contact.
bad,
Absolutely not.
No,
I am
the-
absolutely
The
okay.
lefty arm of
But
the
they, I
Canada
can see it here,
player.
right? Not a play on the
He's
ball.
holding,
And,
he's grabbing.
you know, just
pushing
thinking
the
as a
guy.
player, you're
So
frustrated.
there's nothing
You're
to
coming
do
in, you're
about
trying to get a
basketball,
rhythm, you're trying to get
He's
going.
clamping the ball, the guy, and trying to get the ball. It's
Pocket
sportsmanlike
gets
foul.
picked. Live ball
Number
turnover.
5
And
in the sportsmanlike, okay?
you're trying to get it back. You're trying to make up for it.
decision is in. It is an unsportsmanlike foul.
Number 5.
And Javon and I can ref anytime, any place.
No rebound,
Just
no
that
rebound,
easy.
no rebound.
We can, but I will not. Just to be clear, I will not.
Norris Cole at the line. As we see Bandu picking up the unsportsmanlike. Cole's been the go-to guy. The game's been on the line for Team USA, averaging 15.6 points per game. He's shooting a red-hot 54% from three-point range. We know Norris Cole has won championships, obviously in the NBA, overseas. Really came on in Israel, playing in Israel with Maccabi, and he's continuing to just be a professional bucket getter wherever he is.
He came out here, and I think the most impressive part about what he's done, he's come out with a purpose, right? You can see there, even the way he attacked that shot. He knows right now that this is he's playing for his country, but he also knows this is a world stage. He also knows it's a world stage, and there's many people watching this. There's NBA GMs watching this. There's professional clubs watching this, and he gets it, right? And some players just get it. They understand everything that's at stake. And you had mentioned it earlier, right? He's playing like he wants to get back in the NBA.
It's Cole. So the time winding down. Pandy with some seconds, throws it up, and just missed. Lord Pandy trying to cash out on a deep three. That's how we'll end the first period here in the bronze medal game of the AmeriCup. Canada in front by 1. Stats from the first quarter on your screen. Neither team able to knock down a three-pointer, but that's okay. That's some good pace, good action to start this one. Sights and sounds from the first period are all yours. Well, a reminder, courtside 1891 is your app for the AmeriCup, but it doesn't stop here. We have Eurobasket still going on, the upcoming FIBA Women's World Cup in Australia. Scores, schedules, and streams. Courtside 1891, your ticket to international basketball. After one, Canada leads 16-15. Both teams trying to leave Brazil. Some hardware here. Let's take a look at the 5 that's on the floor.
You mentioned, you know, Eurobasket and the play that's going on over there, and Luka Doncic having himself a heck of a tournament there, right? First player in 30 years to score 30 points in 3 consecutive Eurobasket games. But there's just great basketball, you know, and a lot of basketball going on right now, so it's always good to see as a basketball fan, enthusiast, and you know, if you're a coach or even a player, just a lot to learn from, a lot of guys, a lot of coaching styles, everybody to learn from.
Depending on where you are in the world, you could really watch basketball either all day or all night. As you know, I spent some time in Australia at 9 a.m. NBA games. Later on at night, I was watching the Pro League in Australia. There's basketball Champions League stuff going on in Europe. You have the right apps. Courtside 1891 is an option. If you have the right apps, you can find basketball anytime, any place, anywhere.
Access.
It's amazing. 14 on the shot clock for Team USA here as Pemberton has Kennedy on the perimeter, and Kennedy did a good job staying in front of him. Clark for 3, can't get it to go. Mason sneaking in, all rejected by Young. Khalif Young coming up with the big block that time. Kennedy with the floater, can't get it to go. Bell Haynes, the offensive rebound machine, finds a wide open Gray. Way off, and Clark pull it down. Pemberton hands to Cole. Clark slipped inside and laid it in.
Great job by Clark getting into that short corner there, and Norris Cole finding him, just making a play, right? And aggressive, purposeful, and just quick into his move, right? That's tough to defend.
Kennedy, shimmy shake. Can't get it to go. Trying to follow his own, looking to battle. Gets possession back for Team Canada. We've rarely seen Young and Kennedy on the floor together, but here they are. Bab Harrison for 3.
I feel like the first shot Bab Harrison has taken in this tournament, he's made all of them right. He's like a microwave, just comes in and heats up.
Zimmerman, count the basket and the foul. He'll go to the line for one more.
That's the more traditional big we're talking about, right? You dump it into the post there, and he gets one dribble, spins away, gets to his left-handed hook there. Not afraid of the contact, and get himself an and one opportunity at the strike.
Can't cash out on the free throw. Second team foul now for Canada in this second quarter. Belhanes turning the corner on 2 defenders and lays it up and in.
And the crafty part about him, right, Trey Belhanes, he turns that corner there on Clark and does a good job of getting the ball to his left hand to use his body and shield and finish.
Mason for 3, can't get it to go. Strong rebound by Kennedy. Canada looking to run. It's good transition defense there by Team USA. It's Kennedy on the block. He wants it. It's Young relocating. And Kennedy's going to get fouled. His activity, a problem now for Team USA. Pemberton picks it up on the hole.
You're Kennedy, right? You're playing against some of these guys that played at big-name guys, and you're thinking you're just a small school, small university guy out of Canada. There should be an intimidation factor, you would think. But he plays like he belongs. He plays strong. He plays physical. And he's the intimidator.
It's always great when a young player has that sort of switch that goes off in his head. Like, I really deserve to be on this court, and I could just play to my potential.
It's scary, right? Because they don't worry or care about anything else. They're just out there and they compete, and then they embarrass. They make it tough on those guys that have the bigger names that are supposed to be doing, you know, big things.
Belhanes tossed it up as the shot clock was expiring. McCaw pulls down the rebound. Here's Pargo. Now looking for help, picking his dribble up in an awkward position. He's bailed out by McCaw. Pargo almost threw it away, and then McCaw does. Bab Harrison in the open floor. Oh! Blows the layup. Zimmerman with the floater.
And he showed you earlier, he showed his post game, getting to his left-handed hook, but they're just showing the skill and the touch, right? Gets in that mid-range in the key there, and just a nice touch, putting it on the rim and kissing off every part of that rim. You can see the soft roll there.
Kennedy now back to the basket, hands to Belhanes. Good hesitation by Belhanes. One time led the German BBL in scoring. You see why. Just crafty, finding ways to get shots off. Clark skying just over the outstretched arm of Kennedy to put one in. Clark now with 4. It's Belhanes. Wraparound pass to Kennedy, rejected by Pargo. Clark. Hands to Meeks. Meeks will tee up a 3. Too strong. Zimmerman battling for another possession. Gets it for the Americans. Pargo sees the mismatch, wants some space. The double comes. Skip pass. Clark for 3. Way off. Andre Gray with the heads-up play there, realizing Young might have been in trouble already with a couple of fouls. Didn't want to leave him out there on the island, and it led to an air ball for Team USA. Belhanes once again attacking, was blocked, and he touched it last out of bounds. Will go the other way. Better angle of it. Clark will leave the game. Turnovers on your screen. Then Canada 4. Americans with 2, under 5 to play here in the first half. Bronze medal game here at the AmeriCup. A reminder, we have the gold medal game. Brazil and Argentina coming up next after this one. There's another turnover for the Americans, their 3rd here in the half. It's Patrick McCaw as the ball bounced out of bounds. Henry Blair back into the game for Canada. So is Pandy. This is Pandy. Poked out of his hands, tracked it back down. Kigab aggressively attacking. That's a soft touch.
That's somebody that's hard to defend, right? You got to do your work early and not let him get any position inside the paint there, because he's just going to fight. He's just going to wrestle you. And if he out-hustles you, he gives himself a chance.
Going to be Pargo. Left his feet, then found Lamb as he thought about taking a shot, but saw a hand in his face. McCaw with the hand in his face can't hit. Kigab on the run, but they couldn't get it to him in time. Bell Haynes attacking the body of Meeks. Tried to go glass, no good, and Cheatham vacuums in the rebound. A couple of Pargo's passes have been tough for his intended receivers. As Bell Haynes fouls Cheatham. Second foul on Bell Haynes. You play this many games in such a short period of time, as we see the pictures they are showing, just guys breathing heavily.
You can see it's tough, man. It's tough. You really have to gear up yourself and take care of your body while you're here. You think about it, a lot of these guys, one, they play in Europe. You know, it's 1, maybe 2 games per week if you're in International Cup. But in the NBA, guys,
it's offensive foul.
You see the offensive foul on Lamb. And that play right there, right? That's just a fatigue play, not playing smart, and a bad decision. That's a pileup of games, right? And to my point there is you come into this environment, it gets a lot tougher, right? Then the number of games that are back to back to back, and you have to bring it consecutive nights. You think about, you know, you're playing the semifinal game last night, you come here today, you have to bring that same level of energy and intensity. It's not easy, especially when you're accustomed to playing, you know, a certain number of games in a week span, right? It's a different ball game, and you know, guys really have to take care of the body, get treatments. You know, a lot of guys will go to the weight room and try and get recovery in and so forth. So it's you have to really be prepared and mentally tough to be successful in international competition.
That was nasty by Kigab. Sorry, folks. It was nasty. Timeout. 3:08 remaining in the first half. Canada leads by 4. Reminder, Courtside 1891, your best friend for streams, schedules, scores, and so much more from the AmeriCup here in Brazil, Eurobasket, and the upcoming FIBA Women's World Cup. Rosters being announced for that Women's World Cup. It should be a terrific tournament out in Australia. A couple months, be more FIBA qualifying windows. You'll see a lot of these faces on both these sides likely to be representing their countries. World Cup about a year away from now. As we take a look at Abu Kigab, who's come in and put his foot on the gas pedal.
He's just made tough play after tough play, right? He's come in and you know, you're talking about energy levels and approaching this game. Well, he's one of the young guys, right? You know, fresh out of school, 6 points, 3 rebounds, you see already, but he's playing with that youthful energy. Let's say that. Coming out and understands, like, listen, this is an opportunity right now, not only for us to medal, and a guy that's medal. Remember, he has a gold medal, right? So he understands it. At the same token, an opportunity, hey, let me get some numbers. Let me pat my stats a bit.
Gold medals at the Worlds. U19, historic team for Team Canada, featured the likes of R.J. Barrett. Abu Kigab was the second leading scorer on the team and ended up being an all-star 5 at that tournament as well. As you see, Mason touched every part of the rim, but not through the hoop. 3-on-1 opportunity for Canada. Great. Kigab rejected by Sword, but fouled, and he'll go to the line. Sword was timing that up. You wanted to spike it out of the arena. show Kigab's energy, earning him a trip to the line. First free throw falls through for Kigab. While he was the secondary option on that U19 team, this is a completely different role for him. He's come off the bench exclusively here in the tournament. He's only averaging 4 points per game, but you felt the impact that he's been able to bring to the table for Canada.
I think the role is different, but what he brings to the table is the same, right? And you talk about guys having positions and transferable skills. Well, his transferable skill at any level is the energy that he brings, the ability to defend, you know, the ability to finish in transition and just make hustle plays. Can go transfer to any, you know, NBA level, can transfer to your rec center. You know, as a pro, he played this past summer in Canada's domestic league, the CEBL, and did the exact same thing, right? And brought that energy, brought that toughness, brought that grit.
Pandy watched by McCaw. Here's Kigab again, using the up fake that time. Finding some space.
Great
bench.
Great screen by Cadre Gray there, and Kigab doing a good job of using that screen, curling off it tight.
It's a good backdoor cut there by McCaw as he lays in for 2. Starting to feel the intensity pick up a little bit now. We close in on halftime. Young, good post position, unable to finish, and he got fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. See Nathaniel Mitchell encouraging his young squad.
It's great to hear him, you know, yesterday say, you know, it's his first time at the helm and coaching the men's national team, and, you know, just wanted to wipe that slate clean because these guys are playing extremely hard for them, and the opportunity to play for a medal, you know, supersedes everything at this point. And, you know, you really see these guys be an extension of him and exemplify who he is. And I remember him as well, you know, just a couple years ago. He used to ride his bike as a youngster, not as a youngster, excuse me, to go work out youngsters in R.J. Barrett, and even myself and a couple other pros at the time, for absolutely nothing, right? And you talk about the investment he has in his craft, and you see the success he has. You have to be excited and proud of him. His ceiling is high as a coach as well, and you see what he's done with this group, who most didn't have any expectation of.
It's Cole with the midi, got it. Morris Cole up to 4 points in the game. Cole has this knack of sensing when his team just needs him to score. Henry Blair, too strong off the window, and Zimmerman, who's back into the game, pulls it down. It'll be Mason in the front court. Mason attacking, finds Zimmerman, the extra pass, Sword on the up fake, forced it up and in.
A great drop off by Mason there. Sword, and I think we've seen Sword do that over the course of the tournament, just slashing and finding his way around and into the basket and just finishing around the rim, right? He's just nice touch, good catch, and just using his length again.
Timeout Team Canada, 32-29 with 45.8 to play in the half. Let's listen in to the Canadian huddle.
Hey, we're playing too good a defense to give up like easy back cuts, right? That's the only shit. We're good, right? And just calm down, put the ball in the hole. Hey, Horns, throw it back second side. You don't like it? Don't like it? Yeah, that's fine. When we're working it, moving it side to side, we're a lot better. Okay? Abu, you're setting it this time. Juggy, you're handling. Hook with Abu. Okay? Kadre, Khalif, Jalen. Okay? Let's hook it, come off, roll, throw back, second side, pin down, DHO, shake up. All right?
Any run here for Team USA as Steve Zimmerman able to have a couple highlights here this evening, leading the way for the Americans with 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 dimes. You always talk about closing the halves with momentum, closing quarters with momentum. An opportunity here for both teams to seize momentum in a game that is still up in the balance here. Bronze medal on the line at the AmeriCup. Bab Harrison will trigger the inbound. He's on the floor with Henry, Blair, Gray, Kigab, and Young for Team Canada. Cole, Sword, Zimmerman, McCaw, and Mason for the Americans. Kigab again, nice footwork inside. He's up to 12 on the night. Zimmerman looking for help. Fires it back out to Mason. Mason steps into a three, too strong. Strong rebound there by Kigab. Time for Canada to get a look. It'll be Gray attacking. Got it off in time and through the hoop.
And he just blew by Frank Mason there, right? I don't know what Frank was thinking. At that point, you see the time, the score. You step up, you play some D, provide some resistance, a wall, something, right? And Cadre blows by and just gets himself, you know, a walk-in basket.
36-29 is how we'll end the half. Canada 20 minutes away from a medal. The stats from the first half of play, ugly three-point shooting on both sides, but that's been the story of the tournament for both teams, really. Rebounds favor Canada after they got pounded on the glass. Definitely a point of emphasis coming into this one. Team USA doing a better job of moving the basketball. Your top scorers, Kigab with 12, Zimmerman 8 for Team USA. You see the halftime show in the background here in Recife. We'll give you a halftime show full of highlights, sights, and sounds, and so much more. The first 20 minutes of this bronze medal game between Canada and the US. 36-29. Your score, Canada in front. Enjoy the highlights. Skying in and throwing it down. Khalif Young rocking the rim. Aaron Recife. What a rejection by Grant. Zimmerman had eyes for a dunk and Grant denied him. Canada looking to run. Banton is calling for it. They throw it up. Banton throws it down. 9 points and counting for Delano Banton. He's arrived here in the third. Deck in the open floor, left it behind for Malmado. Showtime for Argentina.
Nobody's out there. Nobody's coming with him. Huertas just tees it up against a good shot. Oh!
Rodriguez pounds it home. What a look by Batista. Huertas splits the D, hands. Diaz hammers it home. And they're rocking and receiving. Colome spinning. Delgado with the facial.
Colome here gets into fifth gear to spin. He's a little out of control.
And to shoot. Cheatham! Nasty! Nesbitt. Great job by Mojica, not losing to a screen. Oh, hello! Henson with the facial. Wow. Driving, floating, Norris Cole. I am him with 1.4 remaining in the game.
This is what it's about. You see the attacking the basket, scooping above that strong side help. And the degree of difficulty on that shot, right? Defense on this right side.
Love is in the air here in Brazil. A love of basketball, you need this app. Courtside 1891. Streams, schedules, scores, and so much more. Scan the QR code on your screen right now and download the app. Follow along here with the AmeriCup, Eurobasket. Of course, the FIBA Women's World Cup coming up in a couple of weeks. Moments away from the start of the second half. Bronze medal game here at the AmeriCup. Canada leads 36-29 over Team USA. First half, I saw Canada kind of control the game throughout. It's the first time we've really seen that from this team here at the tournament.
Yeah, they came out and you can see they understood the agenda a bit more. They fed off Kijab's energy. They played tougher. They played grittier. They played with more, pace in a sense. And USA, they were out there and they were just too cool, right? And when you play cool, you get cool results. But now there's a second half, to adjust from. If you're USA and Canada, winning isn't easy, and winning a medal isn't easy, right? So it's a completely different half now. It's a completely different ball game. You have to come out here and step it up another level, pick up, and play and really step on the necks of USA or press gas in a sense, because you're essentially 20 minutes away from a bronze medal, right? And we mentioned it before, medals last forever.
Off we go, second half action. Canada in the red uniforms going from right to left on your screen. Team USA, of course, in the white. It's Young on the rock for Team Canada. Bell Haynes eluding the defense. Finds a way to get the shot off, can't get it to fall, and Clark with the rebound. Sword in the open floor. Oh, what a heavy screen there by Zimmerman. And Henry Blair still down. Gets helped up by Clark. There's a smile on his face as you take a look at that last replay here.
Yep, rung his bell a bit. And Sword knew it in transition. Zimmerman just set up shop, setting up a screen there. That right to left change of speed, just led Trey Bell Haynes into it, got popped.
Clark to the corner for three, drills it in the face of Banton. Well, the one thing about this veteran Team USA squad is that they all know how to win some level. They've been in big games, they've played big moments. Canada leaves the door open. Best believe they're gonna walk through as Banton puts it on the deck. Finds Pandy, and Pandy did a great job of staying in bounds in tight quarters to lay it in. There's the 5 on the floor for Team USA. Mason Cole, Sword, Zimmerman, and Clark, who just fired up that 3. 5 for Canada. Henry Blair, Bell Haynes, Young, Pandy, and Banton, who drills the mid-range. The third quarter is when Banton has come alive in a couple of contests here in Brazil. And in that 2-3 zone now, they match up. Zimmerman, the floater, followed it. He knew he was going to miss. Bell Haynes comes away with it, being ridden by Mason. Mason saying, hey, he grabbed me. So Mason still complaining about he wasn't doing a curl. Wasn't trying to show off his bicep. He was just trying to demonstrate. He got hooked. Got to be Young. Using the screen was Banton, and Sword picks up the foul, and he looks over at his bench, and they're telling him to calm down. He says, I realize I need to calm down. 14 on the clock for Canada to work with here on this possession. Banton. Inside to Young, tough layup opportunity there for Young, couldn't get it to go. And Sword now on the wing. There's Mason. Mason probing inside. He was fouled on the pass. It's gonna be the first team foul for Canada here in the frame. Coach Jensen looking on as Pandy picked up his first. That's a gorgeous pass by Zimmerman. Clark flies in and pounds it home. The initial pass there by Zimmerman. Heads up play, finding Mason underneath. And then Mason feeding Clark. Creates the highlight. Banton using the left hand. Four and counting for Delano Banton. A quiet first half. Let's see if that gets him going here in this third. Thomas Kennedy will check in at the next whistle, as will Cadre Gray. That shot no good. Rebound Sword. He stepped right into a three. Can't get it to go, and Young puts the clamps on that rebound. Cheatham and Pemberton will check in to the game at the next whistle for Team USA. Banton floater. Overshot it. Sword with the flat-footed rebound. 6:30 to play here in the third. Sword knifing his way to the rim.
Just a great attack there, right? Just getting into the gap of the zone, and Sword, again, just finding ways to torque his body and finish at the rim.
Bell Haynes finding some space. Hands it down low. It's Young. Turning away from the defense that time to Shield.
And if you're USA, you can't trade baskets right now. You got a good finish by Sword on one, and you got to come back and get a stop. Just be a bit more aggressive, be a bit more purposeful on the defensive end.
Cole attacking. Zimmerman on the follow. Can't get it to go. Delano Banton in the front court. Lost control of it and then gave it away. It's Cole going behind the back on Pandy. Finds Clark dancing to the lane. Give Clark 11. Perfect from two-point range in this game. Henry Blair off the dribble, three, can't get it to go, and Zimmerman with the good block out that time. See the assist numbers for Team USA. They have 16 in the game as Clark can't get that to go. Or rather, that was Cole who couldn't get to go. Clark got it to go from three.
Just a heady play there. You can just see the attack by Cole and his aggressive nature, always getting to the rack there, and then Zimmerman kicking out to Clark on the three. Just a play. You can't get a hand on the ball, well, you get a tip out.
Lead down to three. Henry Blair with Cole on his back. Fights through and forces it up. Can't get it to go. He's saying he got hit on the head. Meanwhile, it'll be Mason on the other end for the tie. It's going to lead to a timeout for Canada with 4:35 to play in the third quarter.
And again, that play develops it. Frank Mason gets that shot because Norris Cole is pushing, right? He's pushing it down the throats of Canada and then gets that kick out for a walk-in three.
Canada have led for 18 minutes of this game. Game's now tied up here midway through the third. Let's listen in to the Team Canada chat.
Our offense is winning the night of the game. Not taking great shots. We're rushing. We got to continue to put pressure on the rim. Everybody know what fire is? Now. Run hook with a boot. CK, you're up top. Okay. Trade. Delano, you're here. Okay, a boot. Set in. Let's go, man. Let's go. Go back up again. There we go.
Hey, you get it on the cut.
Get it on three. 1, 2, 3.
Strong push by Team USA led by Gary Clark. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 of 9 from the field. He's been at plus 12 on the floor in his 16 minutes of action.
Yeah, he's put the ball in the hole. You see he showed the outside game, like you mentioned, 14 and 6, and shooting good percentage, right? 6 for 9 from the floor. But the energy, and he's also feeding off the energy of Norris Cole, the way he's pushing and attacking.
Kigab into the game, so is Kennedy. High-low. Kigab finally got it on the ricochet, now looking to go to work on defensive Pargo. Banton with space. Banton tees up a 2. Can't get that to go, and Cheatham with the rebound. US could take the lead here on this possession. Cheatham, Pemberton. Pemberton attacking Kibab. Goes right into our cameraman on the other end. He's getting up. He looks like he's okay, but a 2-point lead for Team USA. Kennedy short arms the floater inside, and the U.S. looking to run once again. Pargo to McCaw. His shot no go. He followed it. A lot of standing around by the Canadians now.
And that's just a great push again by Pargo. You get the corner kick out, corner three. McCaw, gets able to get to his rebound before you have 5 red shirts back on the defensive side. So they just a bit more hustle, a bit more fast-paced play by USA right now.
Good patience by Banton to find an opening to get it down to Kennedy, and he was fouled, so he'll go to the line for 2. Foul's going to be on Cheatham. What you said was so interesting off the top. It's really tough to get back up after a semifinal loss and realize what's at stake in a bronze medal game.
It's tough. You've exerted so much the night before fighting to get to a gold medal game. And the reality is that's what everybody wants to play for, right? And human nature, you're deflated, right? You come in and today you have to wash yesterday off and kick back into gear and have that same level of intensity. Now, if anybody tells you that's easy, they're lying to you. It's extremely tough. It's extremely hard. But once you toss that ball up and it's time to go, right, that switch has to go off. But no, it's not. You're not going to get the same level of play that you have when you're competing for a gold, and especially when the games are back to back. Each team is emotionally drained.
Bellains got poked in the eye. McCaw's going to go over to check on him. Good sportsmanship here, and Bellains gave him a thumbs up. Read McCaw's lips saying, "My fault." Patrick McCaw, a guy who spent some time in Canada with the Raptors organization, has some jewelry to show for it.
Won himself a chip there, won himself 2 with Golden State. He's bounced around at the right spots at the right time.
12-1 run ended there by Kigab on the float. Brings the lead back down to 1. He has 14 in this one. Pargo hesitates. Kigab did a good job of moving his feet, and here's Gray on the steal. Gray using his body maybe too much as an offensive foul. Saw Gray there asking what he did. Little acting job by Pemberton.
We've seen a couple of them, right? Pemberton here just getting in front of Cadre. He's probably watched some film. He just knows in his attack he's looking for the foul and looking to initiate the call. But we've seen a couple actors over this tournament as well, right?
McCaw sweeping through the lane, got it over the top of Kennedy. McCaw 6. It'll be Gray. Wants Kennedy to rescreen here, then picked up his dribble. Finds Kennedy inside, and Kennedy realizing who was on his back. It was Cheatham, and patient for 2.
Kennedy had a similar play earlier where he just got the defense on his high side. And he's so strong, he can shield him off there. Didn't realize how open he was.
Pemberton can't make that field goal attempt. Canada could regain the lead with a bucket here. Gray finds some space, walks into a jumper. It's Pargo, nice pass to Pemberton. Pemberton with the gorgeous cut, Pargo just finding.
Great cut there, and Kijab just fell asleep, and that's not likely of him because he's one of the guys that's usually defensively engaged there.
Gray attacking, oh! The layup is good, and he'll go to the line for 1 more.
Just that change of speed, right? He lulls the defense to sleep, But to have those veterans to play with, guys that are accomplished, guys that played at elite levels and had success, they've been able to balance that out.
Gray can't complete the three-point play, but that was Cheatham who dunked it on his own net. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I think what happened was, or I hope what happened was, he got up too high and was trying to break his fall. I don't know if we have a bloopers top 10, but that's going to end up somewhere. The world of social media is going to be dangerous.
That block is going to end up on social media as Young rejects. Driving. Okay, look at this.
And this is off of, I think he may have just had a brain freeze right there and didn't realize that was his own basket.
McCaw. Good steal there by Gray. Can he keep it in? He does. Kigab in the front court.
And that's big time, right? Kigab again there. Akadre with a big save. And Kigab seen it, right? And got out ahead of the ball. Akadre getting it to him, and Kigab again protecting the ball as he finishes two defenders.
There is Cheatham dunking on the right
you
net.
Got it. Now you got it.
To end the quarter. A three-point game here in the bronze medal game. The rivals, Canada, playing tight with the Americans. They lead by 3 after 3. There you see the stats from the first 30 minutes of play. And here are the highlights from the first 3 quarters. Courtside 1891 stream schedule scores from the AmeriCup and so much more. Scan a QR code, download the app right now. After 3, Canada up 3. See Coach Jensen trying to keep his team engaged here in this 3rd place game. Crowd filing into their seats early, as we'll have the gold medal game coming up between Argentina and Brazil. Right now, a battle between these 2 teams. It will always feel better when you leave a tournament with something around your neck versus nothing at all. And one of these teams will be able to leave with a forever medal. Mason, Sword, driving in on Young. Young did a good job of getting big. Thought he was pushing the back on that rebound opportunity there. It's going to stay here. Team USA basketball. You see Canada shooting the ball well from the field. That's a first here in this tournament, 48% overall. Sword watched by Kigab. Sword wants to go to work. It's Clark. And he traveled.
That was great defense there, and Gray on that strong side just gets a hand on the ball, and Clark gets tied up there. Just took that extra step, but it's the team defense, right? Just the awareness, understanding that there's an attack on your side, and a hand in there and getting right back.
Boy, Pandy back into the game for Canada. Henry Blair almost stolen by Norris Cole, and then the foul is going to be called on Clark. See Delano Banton there on the bench. How long does he rest before coming back in? It's great. Pandy watch by Clark. Henry Blair gonna have to do something with it. The shot clock's winding down. Puts it up, won't make the net. That's a shot clock violation. And good defense by Team USA.
That was great defense by Norris Cole. Just Javon Blair coming off that stagger, and Cole just, you know, rides him off, doesn't allow Rides to hit there, and on the catch, he's there right in front of him, right, and making it difficult, not allowing him, you know, a clear path to curl or get a shot off. And have to tip your hat to Norris Cole there.
Norris Cole loves these moments. Clark with the good cuts, finds Sword, but Sword cannot control the basketball. And look at the hustle by Kikab. The foul is going to be on Team USA, and Kikab just first to the ground. Look at this.
And doesn't think twice, right? Just dives there, sees a loose ball, and that's a 50-50 ball, right? You have to make an aggressive effort to get to it, and he just wanted it more, right? Dives on it here and rewarded. Comes up with the foul, comes up with the possession, and you got a loose ball like that, it's first to the ground, first to get it.
If there's one highlight you would take away from this entire tournament for Team Canada, that may be it right there. It's great. Young setting the screen for Gray. Gray gets the bump, and he'll go to the line.
Coming off of that ball screen again, and just has Cole fighting. Again, Cole doing a good job defensively, being aggressive, being physical, getting into the body of the defense. But Cadre Gray just being slightly smarter there and just using that aggression, that fight against him, keeping him on his backside and drawing the foul. That's much harder than you imagine, right? It takes a lot of control, a lot of patience, and a lot of confidence as well, because you're in a tight space, you're keeping that dribble alive, and you're essentially waiting and surveying the court to see if anything, if lanes or gaps or driving lanes are opening up. And then when there's a split second or opportunity, getting up into your shot, feeling defense on you to draw the foul.
I was just about to ask, because to the average fan like myself watching, snaking the dribble has become a part of the NBA and just basketball, as you saw Frank Mason taking an awkward fall there. Seems like he's okay. Oof. He's walking off, so danger looks like it's averted momentarily, but I don't think the body's supposed to bend that way, even in hot yoga. Slight limp for Mason as he leaves the game. Pargo will check back in, but back to keeping your defender on your back, and the way you kind of drilled that and figure out a way to kind of manufacture opportunities for you, because people think about it just as a scoring opportunity or drawing a foul opportunity, but it's really keeping the dribble alive, as you said.
No, keeping the dribble alive, and you a lot of the elite guards in the, you know, even in the NBA, Chris Paul's notorious for it. Just you're holding that defense off because you're making decisions. It buys you time to make a decision, whether it be making a play for your teammates or letting a play develop. But again, the poise and composure it takes, it's not as easy as it looks, right? You have to have a lot of feel as well, just reading the defense and feeling the defense on your hip.
Pargo attacking, feeds it to Clark. You heard Coach Mitchell in the last time out talking about guys cutting on the baseline. Clark has had a couple of dunks from that position. It's great. He'll tee up a shot. Can't get it to go. Young taps it back out. Henry Blair, step back three, rattles it home. Henry Blair has those moments. Well, he'll get hot, scoring bunches, and really fire up his team. And Zimmerman, the kick, Sword for three, indeed.
And that's trust there, right? Because Zimmerman, he had an easy layup, right? All he had to do is go up with it and find his Sword in that corner. Confidence and trust in his teammates.
Pandy through the lane, now Gray. Gray behind his back, keeping the dribble alive. Gray finds his way to the cup and lays it in. Timeout, Team USA, 65-59. With 6:40 to play. They have one timeout remaining after this one here in the fourth quarter. Take a look at Team USA's huddle. Coach Jensen, who's done a terrific job with this group that came together, have much lead-in time for this tournament. And Coach Jensen has them playing for an opportunity at a bronze medal. Obviously not the medal they came here to win, but a medal nonetheless. In tough with a very game Canada squad, or trying to leave here with a little bit of history.
And you can imagine for US, they may have thought they were walking into this game, you know, it was going to be a cakewalk, right? They had a scrimmage earlier before the tournament against Canada and pretty much handled them convincingly. But this is a different team, right? You see the growth of Canada in the last, 7 to 8 days.
Cheatham got deep post position. That's an easy two for him.
And the right basket.
Yeah, he has 7 points. He really should have 9. Trey Bell-Haynes directing traffic. Henry Blair throws it up to Thomas Kennedy, and that is not his game. Kennedy and Cheatham peeling themselves off the deck and will run into your screen. Here's Cheatham! Kennedy couldn't keep up with him when Cheatham took off, and he gets an easy 2.
And he gets up into the air so fast, right? Runs the court, you could just see him, and you knew it was going to be a highlight. Catches it and just flush it in for us.
11 fast break points now for Team USA. They're down 2. Pandy did a good job of sealing there and catching as Pemberton on his back. Footwork by Pandy. Educated feet. His feet went to an Ivy League school. 7 points and counting for Pandy. Banton and Cheatham will duel here. Good jab step by Cheatham, creating space. He attacks the rim and earns a trip to the line.
That quick first step as well off of that jab just really got Banton off of him, create that space and that burst to the basket there.
It's Banton's 3rd foul here in the game. Only the first team foul for Canada in the 4th. Clark will sit. 5:15 remaining. As we take a look at Zylan Cheatham, Mr. Jet Fuel himself. In the round robin portion of this tournament, he had a couple moments where you felt like he was going to put someone on a poster. He finally got that poster last night in the loss to Argentina. able to elevate and detonate.
And we had waited for it all tournament, right? Just kind of had us on the edge of our seats and got to watch him warm up. So you knew something was coming, and you give him the chance to set his feet and get above the rim. It's night-night.
This game is made for YouTube, isn't it? Bell Haynes is open for three, decides to put it on the deck. Floater's not there. Kennedy had the ball, lost it. Cheatham tracks it down for Team USA. Chance for the Americans to take the lead with a three on this possession. It'll be Pargo. Hesitates, now attacks Kennedy. Got in the air, didn't know where he was going with it. Banton going to the net.
And that transition's so fast when he takes off, right? And you get to see how long he really is. He extends to the basket, and there's really nobody up there with him.
Cheatham, watched by Pandy. That's great defense by Pandy. Pargo turns the corner, leaves it. Pemberton open for three. Indeed. Four minutes to play in the bronze medal game here at the AmeriCup. Canada leads by one. It's Banton. Floater gets it to go. Back-to-back buckets for Delano Banton. Pemberton just hit a three. Hands to Meeks, who fires it up and was fouled on the attempt by Gray. And that will send Meeks to the line with a chance to tie. We've seen the emphasis of that call here in Brazil, and there wasn't much there, but he just didn't allow him to land.
Just didn't get there. And you're always going to have it in question, right? But even there, we've seen it, right? There's nobody that stepped up. I don't know if anybody has stepped up all tournament and said, listen, that was a foul on me. So I'm not going to expect it here in a bronze medal match. Absolutely not.
As a player, there is a fine line of contesting the shot and what we just saw from Gray. How tough is it to really stay in control when you know you have a shooter like Meeks? You don't want him to take the shot, and then you get called for that type of foul.
It's tough, right? Because you know you have to get out there to him, or you haven't done your job and you haven't understood your assignment, just not running the shooter off of the line. But at the same time, you have to be able to run out there and close out under control. And again, when you get into international play, you know, there's so many different schools of thought, so many different philosophies. Some coaches these guys play at professional levels, want you to run the guys off the line and close out by them. Some want you to chop your feet and close out, right? So now you get here, and Coach Nathaniel Mitchell may have his philosophy. You have to implement that. Like, what constitutes a good closeout, right? And those are all the things and all the factors that these players have to adapt to in a short turnaround.
Also understanding who you're playing against as we see Meeks leave the game for Cole.
It's almost like pineapple on a pizza. Everybody has a different take.
What's your take?
Pineapple. Have to.
Oh my goodness.
Have to.
Going off the rails here in a bronze medal game on this broadcast. Kigab inside, smaller Mason on his back rather. He'll get it back here. He's gonna have to put it up. He checked the shot clock. It's stripped there by Mason. Sword, open floor, leaves it for Cheatham. Three minutes to play. Team USA regaining the lead here. Banton slowing things down for Canada. Chance of USA spattering through the crowd. Bell Haynes almost gave it up, then got it back and attacking. Rejected by Sword. Erasing the shot just when you were about to count to two. 2:30 remaining in the game. It's Cole. Step back three. Way off. Kigab. They say it bounced out of bounds before Kigab was able to make that save, so it's going to be Canada basketball. Here's that strip by Cole,
and this is
Mason.
Mason here, and this is the point in the game where you see just above the rim. And we've been expecting all tournament. And here, just a nice block coming from that weak side, that strong side there. This is the point in the game for Canada yesterday where you're seeing that lack of experience kick in, right? And, you know, what have you learned from yesterday? How are you going to attack now? How are you going to make plays? And plays like that, right? The smarter plays and Kijab with a baseline cut. Taking care of the basketball in these last 2 minutes is going to be so important for both of these teams.
18 and counting for Kijab. Gray comes up with possession. He's left alone. Henry Blair wanted it earlier. Took a little too long to get him the basketball. Young down low, lost possession. And Cole in the front court. Cole to Clark. Clark has 18. U.S. regained the lead by 2.
And Clark, this has been Clark's best game, right? He's really stepped up here.
It's Banton. Turns the corner. Offensive foul. Take a look at it here.
And it's that extension of the arm there, just seeking out the contact. We've seen one earlier by Cadre, which was the use of the shoulder. There you see Banton, you just play through, right? Just continue to play and not search out the contact there.
4th foul on Banton. Pandy comes back into the game for Javon Henry Blair. It's Clark. Cole. Mason inside. Cheatham! Count the basket and the foul!
That danger point here again. Cheatham just getting into strong finish, attacking strong, nice drop off and just finishing through that contact there, taking the hit on the head. And you can see the passion, you can see the fight in Pemberton here. Just look at the enthusiasm. And guys understand, right? They understand, like this is for a medal, and like we mentioned, medals are forever. And that play before, you just compound that mistake. If you're Canada, you get the offensive foul by Banton, you come down on the other end and add one opportunity for USA.
You're gonna handle. Now, Khalid, you're right here. Andre, I want you to really trail the play. Yolanda, you're here. That's what you got to be in it up. Trail the play. Come hard. Hits back. Khalid, speed it. Roll. Get downhill. Abu, you're right here on the weak side. Okay? So I want you to, it's like a pitch fist. Getting downhill to the rim. And we got a lot of time. We just got to compile some stops. Rebound the ball here. Pushing transition. We're good. All right? Let's go. Right here. Keep us that thing. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Canada will attempt to get their 7th medal here at the AmeriCup. The last time they medaled was in 2015. It was a bronze. It's the 7th time they've played for bronze at AmeriCup competition. They're 3-3. The U.S. trying to leave here with a medal of their own. As Cheatham could not get the shot. Well, they're going to call a lane violation on Clark arriving late. Who's the ball go to for Canada? It's Gray right now. That's Cheatham on him. Young trying to post. That's great work there by Cole, making life tough for Young to fight around and get some space. The ball slapped out of bounds. 13 to shoot for Team Canada. U.S. with 2 fouls to give. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining in the game. Canada with no fouls to give. Kijab's been the leading scorer throughout. Gray attacking. Got stripped. Sword, buckle up. Banton back the other way. Henry Blair, Canada needs this. They can't get it. The follow by Gray. Not there. 3-on-1. Buckle up again for Sword. He missed the dunk. Henry Blair back the other way. He'll tee up a three. Can't get it to go. Clark saves. It's in the air. And they're going to call a foul on Henry Blair. And that should send Mason to the line.
And just, you know, this is reminiscent of the end of the Brazil game for Canada yesterday for me, right? You have a couple turnovers down the stretch, a 4-on-1 opportunity, and don't come up with a play. And just compound the issue, and then obviously USA gets out running, gets some easy baskets for themselves. They just turn that meter up, that intensity meter, when the game, when it counted, right? And you could just see that a tad bit more experience with some of those guys come down the last minute and a half again. Canada not able to get into the sets that they were trying to get to, or get a clean, clear shot off. And almost at times seemed like they were all deferring to each other. Nobody really stepped up and wanted that opportunity, wanted the shot, or wanted to be, you know, the guy.
Mason knocks down both free throws. Good to see him back in the game after the spill he took early on. 20 seconds remains. Henry Blair fires up the three. He got fouled. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws. Well, if you're Canada, this is what you wanted. Stop the clock with 15.8 remaining in the game, and a chance to put 3 on the board with Henry Blair at the line. He's shooting 67% from the foul line coming into this game. Pemberton will sit. They'll bring Mason back in. Coach Jensen and his unit. Ten, 5, and 3 for Juggy Blair. This is the first. Pandy and Young check back into the game for Canada, replacing Kennedy and Henry Blair. Delano Banton playing with 4 fouls. Clark inbounds to Mason. Double comes. It's Cole. Banton got his hands on it. Gets possession for Canada. Gray attacking the rim. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. Saw the length of Delano Banton on that play as we take a look at the foul here. And we'll send Gray to the line. Good job there by Clark fouling to make sure that Gray had no shot to get a shot off. It's a second foul on Gray, rather Clark. More importantly, Team USA now in the penalty. 5.7 in the game. Gray knocks down the free throw. Both teams still with a timeout. Henry Blair will check into the game. And Young will sit. Mason has possession. Pandy has to foul him with 4.2. Canada battling right down to the wire. See Sword and Coach Nathaniel Mitchell having a moment. A lot of respect here at this tournament for Coach Mitchell, what he brought to the table for Canada. A lot of fights shown by the Canadians, but It looks like in this one, Big Brother is going to win out, go home with the bronze medal. Mason puts both free throws down. And Canada takes their final timeout. 4.2 remaining. For the final time here in Recife. Let's listen in to Coach Mitchell.
There you are right here. All right? Abu, you're right here. Lloyd, you're right here. Okay, Delano, you're inbounding. Okay? Khalif, you're taking Kadre. Okay? What's left? I'm on the other elbow. Okay, Lloyd, you're right here. You're running up. Back screen, then Khalif. You got to screen your own because they're switching. Okay, now you're going out to the corner. 3-ball. On the 3-ball. Make sure we're denying and try to get a steal. It's going to be a 3, steal, 3. Overtime. All right, let's go. Let's go. Here we go, boys. Execute here. Let's go, boys. Hey, got it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
84-77. Your score with 4.2 remaining in the game. Heard the set drawn up by Coach Mitchell and Team Canada. They need a 3 on this possession. They send Banton, Young, Kigab, Henry Blair, and Pandy. Team USA counters with Zimmerman, Sword, Clark, McCaw, and Norris Cole. Banton to inbound. Henry Blair, deep 3. He's fouled, he'll go to the line. A wild closeout there. You see Norris Cole upset at Clark.
And that boils down to the type of closeout you want, right? Just he's, at this point, trying to run Blair. I don't know if he's trying to run him off the line or run into him, run him over. One of the two. But at this point in the game, it's, what are you doing?
Henry Blair at the line, knocks down the first. Mason checks into the game for McCaw. They can't do that on this free throw attempt. They'll have to wait till the next one. Coach Jensen a second away from wearing a medal, and head up, coach. You're going to have another shot. $15 points for Henry Blair. Team USA takes their final timeout with 1 second remaining in the game. And a 4-point lead. Well, Coach Jensen's done an incredible job with his squad here. They didn't have much prep time. They came into Recife and were already on the ropes in their first game, Mexico defeating them. And it doesn't matter who is wearing a Team USA jersey. When you see USA across the chest, you know you're going to get the best effort from the opposing country. And that happened here in Recife multiple times. They responded. Obviously not the medal that they want to go home with, but a bronze medal nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, if you come out here and you're competing for anything less than a gold, you're in the wrong profession. You're wrong, you know, sport period, right? Like, but to your point, Coach Jensen done a great job. I think, you know, coming out here and then the upset from Mexico, and then there was even more tension on, oh, they, you know, this USA team is, you know, underwhelming and the talent isn't there, and, you know, they're going to struggle. And to box that noise out and to continue to have these guys perform, and obviously medal, right? And medal, like we mentioned, medals are forever, regardless of it's gold, silver, or bronze. That was impressive on his part, and then just to see him get some of the guys to elevate their play, and And you could just tell Norris Cole was an extension of him. The way he played his heart out, the way he played as gritty and tough and purposeful and intentional as he did, you know, spoke volumes to me about that relationship.
A bronze medal win for Team USA, 84-80 over Canada. Big brother winning another battle here at the AmeriCup. Credit to that man on screen, Alex Jensen, who has kept his team together here in Recife and has some hardware to show for it. High fives all around. You mentioned the extension, Norris Cole and Jensen shared. You see how excited Cole is, a guy who has won championships all around the world. And what the bronze medal means to him here at an AmeriCup. Final stats from the third place game here in Recife. Both teams struggling from three-point range was really the story of the tournament for both sides. Canada had the rebounding advantage at half, but gave it up to end the game. Team USA did an incredible job of moving the basketball. Clark, our player of the game, with 18 points. Kigab doing a fantastic job of leaving here on the right note with 18 of his own. The lasting memories of Team USA and what you saw from them here at this tournament.
Well, I think that message right there, you see Cheatham out here just celebrating Clark. They play the same position, player of the game, but he's out here and just excited and emotional and invested. And I think that's going to be, you know, what this team exemplified over the course of this tournament, right? They came together, even though they had a bullseye on their back, and they remained, you know, a unit. Right, and I think, again, coming out here and medaling and the fight that they had, and had a number of guys that, you know, you piece together and aren't unfamiliar territories, right? Playing limited minutes and not distributed evenly, but coming out here and having to have an impact, and they did that.
On the other side, that man, Coach Mitchell, kept Canada a very young team, the youngest here at the tournament, in fact. Really focus on the task at hand. You saw the youth in big moments for them. And definitely a learning experience all the way around, but the potential sky high.
Potential sky high, and you look at it and everybody knows that this is the youngest group in the tournament, probably the most inexperienced group, but at the same time, this is a group of guys that are playing in their windows. You know, these are the next generation guys for Canada, a part of that group there. So just to see them come out here and, you know, really defy the odds, and it just spoke volumes to what Canada's building, the chemistry, the consistency, and, you know, Coach Nathaniel Mitchell being an extension of Nate Bjorken, who coaches the Windows teams, and Coach Nurse that coaches, you know, pretty much the qualifying teams and the world teams, and him coming out here and having the same systems and applying the same systems and sharing it with these guys. I just think they have something special building over there, and you're going to see this country be successful for years to come.
Next step for these two teams, they look forward to World Cup qualification windows coming up in November. The World Cup will happen a year from now in 2023, and the way the qualifying windows are going, both these teams will definitely be there. Team USA, the Olympic champions, they'll be looking to reassert their dominance on the world stage by winning the World Cup. Canada, if, there's always that if, but if everyone shows up, they will have a chance to once again play for a medal, if not the whole thing. Well, one more game to play here in Recife after a week and a half of basketball. It's Brazil taking on Argentina in the gold medal match. We're about an hour and a half away from tip there. It's been fun with this one. Team USA going home with the bronze medal and a win over little brother, 84-80. We'll see you soon here at the AmeriCup.